What's going on, guys? It is Coach Harper here, and welcome to the Speed to Dominate podcast. This is season two. All right, so this is season two. We've been gone for a while, but don't worry, we are back, and we are back in full swing. This is season two of the Speed to Dominate podcast, where I am going to be your host, Coach Harper, NBA, as always. And we're going to be talking a lot more about training and development of your youth athletes, how we're going to get them faster in the shortest amount of time possible. You know what? I believe, and I hang around Eric Thomas a lot. I help him with his audio for his church that he planted here, or is starting to plant here in Atlanta. And I believe wholeheartedly in my heart that I have the best tool that anyone can use to help their youth athletes start running faster in the shortest amount of time possible. I believe that I have helped and will continue to help get kids to run faster in the shortest amount of time possible. All right. And I believe with what I have now, they're going to get even more faster in a even shorter amount of time. Right now, we're doing it. Right now, I say 30 days, in 30 days or less, but it's literally have been 2 weeks. Okay. 2 weeks. All right. I think we've had someone have gotten faster in a shorter time than that, but I believe but I can't remember how many, so I don't want to say, but I know for a fact one of the fastest has been 2 weeks, and we're gonna collapse that time frame this year. And by the end of this year, by the end of 2025, we're going to collapse this time frame. Okay, guys. So listen, I've got my information over here, so I'm going to be kind of glancing down that way. For a little bit, for those of you who are watching me on YouTube. If you're joining us with audio, congratulations. Welcome. Congratulations for being in the right place at the right time. And welcome to the next season of the Speed to Dominate podcast with your host, Coach Harper. All right, so today we're going to be talking about why your kids' speed training doesn't last and the tool to fix it. I'm sorry, I should have started off with that for you guys so that you'll be able to know what was going on, or so you would know what was going on. But yeah, why your kids' speed training doesn't last and the tool that's going to revolutionize the game that will fix your kids' sprint and have their training last longer. Okay, so what is this tool that I'm talking about? Okay, so if you've been on my Instagram at Coach Harper, I should put that down on the screen, at Coach Harper. At the Coach Harper. I'm sorry, THE Coach Harper, at the Coach Harper on Instagram. If you've been up there lately, within the last week or two, you've seen this thing that I've been posting about, this thing called Coach Harper AI. All right, Coach Harper AI is a tool that I developed, or it's an AI bot rather, that I've trained, I should say, that I've coded and trained to be able to get you on demand workouts, nutrition, strength, all of those things. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit more in detail a little bit later. But for now, I feel like that is important. Before I kind of talk about why your kids' speed training is not lasting, this kind of all ties in together. So before we actually get into that, I just want to just tell you a little bit about why I created this tool and how it's going to revolutionize the way that your kids are going to get faster. Okay, so how it all started, guys. I was coming down the stairs, and my wife, we have this open floor plan. So my wife was at the sink. She was washing her hair in the kitchen sink, and so from the kitchen sink to the living room, you can see straight from the kitchen sink to the living room. It's just open floor plan. It's beautiful. I love the open floor plans. And so she was watching this documentary. And, when I first came down, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I didn't really know what was going on. I was kind of just fixing myself something to eat. And then when I looked up, I saw that it was Netflix. It was talking about Netflix. And she had asked me a question about Netflix, and I didn't really know the answer. I can't remember what the question was, but I didn't really know the answer. But then that prompted me to start actually looking at the the documentary, and the documentary that I was looking at was called Netflix versus the World, and it was about Netflix and how they started. Now, I love business and business stuff, so I love to watch things where someone starts a business out small and then they grow it to a Fortune 500 company. Because I have my own business, and I would aspire to have something big like they'd have one day, right? Today, not one day, today. I actually want it today. All right, so I was watching that, and I got hooked, and as the documentary went on, one thing I started to do is what I do to all of those. I've watched Steve Jobs documentary, or actually his movie. I watched a lot of other business movies. The Founder was one of my favorite movies as far as that business goes, about McDonald's. So as I was watching it, what I do is I like to try to look at the characteristics and see the similarities between all of the different people that I've watched. And so one of the things that stuck out to me, one was that people build a team, but the biggest thing that stuck out to me was that Netflix, they kind of saw, and everybody has this, they saw a gap in the market. Okay, now I know you guys are like, okay, what does this have to do with speed training or anything like that? This is the story. Chill out. Here we go. All right, so one of the things that I saw, that they saw the gap in the industry, right? And that gap was that people were going to Blockbuster, all right? People going to Blockbuster, and they were renting films and things like that. And they know this is the craze. This is what people do on the weekends. If you know, you know. If you were born in that era, Friday night, you might have watched TGIF, but after that, you popped in the movie. Friday night, you popped in the movie. You got some microwave popcorn, or you popped it in the air fryer. Air fryer. You popped it in that little air popper machine, the air popper machine, or you had that one. Remember that one that was a circle, and it's a hot plate, and you put oil on it, and it had a little arm, and it rotated around that circle, and you put the kernels up there. You had the dome shaped thing you put on top, and it pops, and then you flip it over, and then you got your popcorn already in the bowl. Great invention, by the way. Yeah, so that was Friday night, right? So they saw how people had to go out to the store. They had to pay late fees. If they didn't, you had to rewind. So I'm talking to millennials now, okay? People who grew up in that era, right? But anyway, they saw the gap, and they said, there's a better way to do this, okay? There's a better way to do this where we can serve our people much, much better, and give them a better experience, okay? So that really stuck out to me because when you're dealing with business, I'm just going to side note for just a second. When you're dealing in business, you get to a point where you're in business to serve people, but you get to a point where you start looking at your own situation, and you're like, oh, how can I make a couple dollars here? How can I make a couple dollars there? And you really get your focus off of the people, where your focus should be on the people, okay, and how you can make their lives better, okay, and put your life on the back burner so you can help other people. That's what business is actually about. It's not about, you're in the business to make money, but your business itself, in and of itself, is a service to others, okay? So look at it like that, all right? So they saw that gap, all right? And so that got me to thinking. So my first thought was, where are the gaps in training when it comes to youth athlete speed training, or when it comes to just training in general? And I started to think about a lot of the things that you guys have been telling me when I speak with you, when you're emailing me. A lot of the times, people they're looking for that quick fix. They're looking for my help. They're looking to speak to me so they can get their questions answered, right? They're looking to me to give them guidance, so they don't have to go searching on YouTube, so they don't have to go trying to find a blog article or, doing a research, because it's much more convenient to ask somebody who you already know that knows the information, so you don't have to go out and search for it, right? So so that's where we were, right? So that's where I started. That's where my brain was. I was like, how can I get the information as fast as possible to people so they can get the information and they can start working on it immediately? How can I collapse that time frame, right? And I started thinking, these guys at Netflix, they used a new technology at the time was the internet. Okay, it was all the rave, all the craze, right? so, um, so how did they do that? They took that internet and they used it in an innovative way to create a service for people that was much more convenient, that served them better. And I thought, how could I do the exact same thing? So I started to think, okay, what is the new technology? What is the new technology right now that is just like the internet was? Okay, back in the day, back in the 90s, whatever, people first started logging on the internet. They didn't kind of know what it was. They didn't know how it was going to really fit into their lifestyle. They didn't really know what they were going to do with it. But they knew it was pretty cool to get on, and they didn't know how the internet was going to end up changing their lives, in the next 10, 15, 20 years, right? Nobody knew that. We were just up there, and a lot of us were just playing. But business owners, they saw an opportunity, and they said, with this, we can do this. And they started thinking. So I said, what is the internet of this era? What is this generation's internet? And then the answer just struck me like a bolt of lightning. It was easy. It was this easy answer. AI, right? Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is literally starting to take over the world a lot quicker than internet did. Okay, I remember logging on to ChatGPT for the very first time. I think it was 2022, I believe 2022 or 2023ish, and from then till now, it has like literally exploded. Okay, it has literally exploded, and it is only going to get better and more scarier. All right. In fact, I saw a report where some scientists were using the AI, and they were like, this is not to scare you. This is just showing you how this thing has advanced. Right. So the scientists were using the AI. And they were, or whoever was working with it, they typed into AI and said, hey, we're going to destroy you in such and such time or whatever by this time or date. You're no longer going to be available. And this AI actually wrote code to revive itself. Okay, in case that happens, like a code. I don't know if they understood the code, but it wrote a code so that it would. Literally, the AI wrote the code so it can survive the shutdown that they were saying that it was going to do it. It really wasn't going to do it. They're just saying it to see how it would respond. And it literally wrote code. So anyway, the whole point of this is that this has exploded within the last couple of years, and it is probably going to start taking over jobs and things like that. All right. So I said, how can I use this in an innovative way to help my people? And that's when Coach Harper AI was born. All right. That's where Coach Harper AI was born. This is where I started to say, hey, look, if I had a thing, a piece of equipment or a bot that can deliver workouts, strength plans, all of this right in the drop of a dime, right in your hand, just like you were using ChatGPT, right to your inbox, but not just some generic like information. We're talking about information that I've gathered over the last 15 years that I know works, that literally is going to be a carbon copy of me, where you can ask the question and get the answer that I would give. And trust me, we've tested this thing over and over and over, and it literally does just that. Okay, it literally just does just that. All right. And I thought, how, if I could get that into the hands of people, then this would be something great. This would be an innovative way to do it. And we actually did it. We put it out there, and we put it out to test, and people are absolutely loving it. Okay. So that's going to be available pretty soon here. And I kind of did this kind of backwards because this is the tool that's going to help your youth athlete. Okay, so with that being said, I started to think when I was sitting there thinking about how can I serve my people better. Okay, this is where innovation comes in. Um, I was thinking about the youth speed training in general, and I realized, there's a gap. There's a gap there too. Okay, there's two problems. There's two problems, and this is why your kids' speed training doesn't last. There's two problems that coaches and parents come up to when they start to train their youth athletes. Okay, number one, um, parents they just don't know what their kids should be doing. Okay, now coaches are a little bit different when it comes to that. For parents, they just don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they should be doing, and with coaches, they don't know an answer. They don't know what they should be doing because they don't know an answer to a specific problem that they're having with their youth athletes. One being uh, they don't know how to keep their kids from fading in races. So, for example, if you're a track coach, they don't know how to keep their kids from fading in races at the end of the races. That last 100 meters or that 400 meters, we all know that's going to be a time where you're going to have to man up. All right, you're going to have to man up. You're going to have to fight that pain. A lot of kids don't know how to fight that pain, and they don't know how to do it. So they start fading in races, and that is not a training thing. That is literally a mechanics thing first, then it's training. Okay, so most people think it's a training thing. It's actually a mechanics thing first, then it's the training. I don't have time to jump into that right now and go deep into that. But I do have. If you go to champsprinter.com, there's a program that walks you through it step by step by step. I think it's like $27. You can go grab that. I put the link in the description so you can grab that. So if you're having problems, even if you're a parent and you're having problems with your kids fading in the last part of the race, in their hundreds, or in their 200s, their 400s, even in the hundreds, this is the tool that can help you. You can go to champsprinter.com. You can grab that. But they just don't know what they should be doing. Parents don't know what they should be doing, and I was like this tool is the absolute best if you don't know what you're doing, because literally you can go and you can type into this thing and it will spit back based, not just, like I said, not just a generic answer, but it will spit back to you based on the child's age, based on the sport they play. So it doesn't matter if they play football, basketball, baseball, soccer, track, all of that. It'll spit back that information. You can give it that information. As a matter of fact, it'll ask you that information based on their age, based on the sport they play, based on the season that they're in. So if they're in season, out of season, off season, it will tell you what you need to be doing based on that. And I'm like, this literally multiplies me. So this makes me available to everybody at any time, right now, right here, right now. Okay. And then I am in human form, so you can ask me if you don't understand or need some clarification on some of the things that it gives you. One of the feedback that we get, which we're working on right now, is some of the things it tells me I don't know what it stands for, I don't know what it means, so they ask me those questions. So we're working on getting some things worked out for that, so you'll be able to understand for that. Okay, this is top secret still. Okay, so we got people out in the industry that will see this, so we want to make sure that we're protecting our asset here. Anyway, but the number two mistake, the second mistake, is speed fades when kids stop training, or people are using cookie cutter programs. Okay, now you might be saying, Coach Harper, well, isn't Speed to Dominate a cookie cutter program? And my answer to that would be yes and no. Okay, because it's written specifically for speed, for any sport. Okay, but it is designed for everyone to learn how to run properly. That's the biggest thing. Everyone needs to know how to run properly. Everyone has these four common mistakes. All right, arm swing, body position, knee drive, foot placement. Those are the four common mistakes that every kid making. There will be no other mistake that the kid can make unless they're just sprinting sideways and they haven't sprinted forward yet, right? Or sprinting backwards or something like that. Outside of the astronomically rare anomaly, every kid is making these 4 mistakes. These are the only mistakes that they would make: arm swing, body position, knee drive, foot placement, or some variation of one of those, or some subcategory of one of those things. Okay, so it's very specific in that regard. Cookie cutter in the regard that everybody's going to be doing pretty much the same thing, right? In order to fix these things, because that is the fix. Okay, so but there are a lot of other programs out there that are cookie cutter, especially when it comes to speed in general. And that's why when I give you a 30 days of speed workouts for that, and a speed tracker and those things, because that is the baseline. Where we start to get into where it's not a cookie cutter thing is once you start going into my fast lane, the fast lane. I have a fast lane. It's called the fast lane. I said that 7 times. Sorry about the redundancy, but it's called the fast lane. It's a group community. When you get in there, then that's where we start making things a little bit more catered to you. But that again was another gap with that I saw, that the Coach Harper AI will fill that gap, because now you're getting not cookie cutter things, you're getting specific workouts for your child depending on where season they are, how old they are. And we're talking strength, we're talking speed, we're talking nutrition, all right? We're talking mindset, all of those different type of things all in one easy to use tool that you can pull and use right out of your pocket. Okay, pull your phone out, boom, pop the question in there, comes back, full plan, copy paste it, whatever you need to do. All right, so those are 2 things. One, you just don't know what their kids should be doing, and then number 2, speed fades when kids stop training or they use cookie cutter plans. Okay, so by the way, you can grab the Speed to Dominate program if you don't have it. It's at speedtodominate.com. You can grab it right now. It's just $10. Okay, just $10. You can grab the program right now for just $10. Speedtodominate.com. You can do that. All right. It's an amazing program. We've got people getting their kids faster in just 2 weeks. One lady dropped her daughter dropped 6 seconds in just 2 weeks. So speedtodominate.com. Make sure you go grab that. This thing is going to solve those 2 problems. So those are two problems. This is why your athletes are getting stuck. They start training, and you use, let's say, even Speed to Dominate. You use Speed to Dominate for 30 days, then you stop training, you got fast, you stop training, and then guess what? They regress. Okay, it doesn't stick. Why? Because you need to continuously be training. Okay, now there is a time for rest. All right, there is a time for rest, and you need to calculate the rest. That's where Coach Harper and Coach Harper AI comes in. You need to calculate the rest. You need to know when the rest needs to come in. You need to know when to get back to it. You need to know when to back off. All right, with your training. You need to know when to accelerate the training. That's all the things that you can get with Coach Harper AI, especially also inside the fast lane, which you'll be able to get a chance to get into for free once you grab the Speed to Dominate program at speedtodominate.com. All right. So what happens when that happens, guys, is the confidence, your kids' confidence, it starts to drop. All right. They stop improving. They get passed up, and parents are stuck wondering what to do next. Okay. What to do next. But again, just like the internet was new to Netflix, here's Coach Harper AI, which is new to this industry. Guys, I'm telling you, this is going to revolutionize. There is no other person. There's no other speed person. And I can say this with 100% confidence because I used ChatGPT to figure out there. No, I searched it and then I used ChatGPT. There are training programs that use AI, but not in the way that I'm using it. Okay, not in the way that I'm using it. There are no speed coaches, strictly speed coaches, speed and conditioning coaches that use the AI in this way. So you are literally the first to be able to use this. I'm the first one to roll this thing out. I feel like Soldier Boy when I say that. I'm the first rapper to ever do. I'm the first speed coach to ever do this. All right, um, so this is the first of its kind. You're going to be able to use this. It's going to be available very, very soon. September 15th, actually. Oh, September 1st. I'm sorry. September 1st, you're going to be able to use this tool. All right. We've tested it. We're still making a couple of tweaks and a couple of changes here. So we tighten the system up. And then, of course, as we go along, we're always going to continue to be updating this thing. This is always a work in progress. We're always going to be updating it to make it better, to make it more smarter, to make it mimic me a lot, even a lot more. I want it to mimic me so well that I'm going to be like, did I give you that? You know, when somebody asked me a question, I'm like, did I give you that? Or did the coach AI give you that? Okay. So it's going to be good. Okay. It's literally going to be a coach in your pocket. All right. It's going to give you the custom speed workouts, all that stuff 24/7. Okay. So no matter where you live, okay, if you are in India, and it's time for you to start working out, you can pull from it right then and there. You don't have to call me, you don't have to text me or anything. Ask for a link. You're going to have the link there, and you're going to be able to use this right from the Fastlane. Okay, the Fastlane is my membership program. Right now it is free, but we're going to give a great deal on this when it first drops. Okay, inside of the Fastlane, we're going to give a great deal on this when it first drops. And then for the first 15 days, after the first 15 days, it's going to go up. But you definitely need to lock in with me. If you're not following me on Instagram at the Coach Harper, follow me on Instagram at the Coach Harper. You'll know when everything drops. If you don't have Speed to Dominate, grab speedtodominate.com. Then we'll have your email address, and you'll be first to be notified when Coach Harper AI is available to you, to the public, for you to be able to use this. And you'll be able to use this every single day if you need it, okay? It's going to be inside. Again, it's going to be inside of my Fastlane community. You get inside of the Fastlane community for free right now. From now until September 1st, the early birds get the worm, okay? You be able to get inside the Fastlane for free right now. Once you grab the Speed to Dominate program, you'll be able to get into Fastlane for free, all right? And then from there, Coach Harper AI will drop in there on September 1st. Okay, so go ahead and get ready. Okay, because when Coach Harper AI drops, we're gonna put it out, and it's gonna be more than free. Okay, it's gonna be more than free, but less than $50. Okay, and less than $30. Okay, all right. So so go ahead if you haven't gotten to the Speed to Dominate program, go ahead and grab Speed to Dominate program. It's only $10. You can grab it right now from speedtodominate.com, and that's good. All right, so cool. That is the episode for today, guys. If you guys have any questions, of course, you can send me, you can ask me questions, send me direct messages. You can put your questions down here below. Also, let me know what you want to see down in the comments. Make sure you do all of the things here. What I want you to do, I want you to subscribe. Subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed. If you are subscribed, then I want you to hit the like button, hit the comment button, hit the bell icon. Let's see, one thing. If you are subscribed, make a comment. If you are subscribed and you have already hit the bell icon, make a comment, hit the like button. Share this video with everybody that you can, all right? That's the biggest thing. Just share the video. Share the video with everybody that you can so we can get this thing going. All right, so I hope that helps. We are going to be, I am going to be streaming live. I'm going to try to be at 10 a.m. every day. Try to be at 10 a.m. every day. I'm sorry, every Wednesday. I'm sorry, every Tuesday. Got my days mixed up. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m. I'm trying to get to 10 a.m. or as close to 10 a.m. as possible so you can watch this live, the show live. Other than that, it'll definitely be back available for you on all of your podcast platforms, and that means Spotify, Apple, all of those things, and it's going to be available to you on YouTube, on the Tube of You. Okay, so Make sure that you tap in, and I will talk to you guys